What were you doing on the morning of September 11th, 2001? Assuming you're old enough, you can probably remember it quite clearly. That single day completely changed the world we live in. And although many of the changes were for the worse, on that fateful day, the world came together in ways that we often forget about. I'm Mike with List 25, and in honor of those who lost their lives, we bring you 25 unbelievable facts about 9/11 you might not know. #25. 2,996 people were killed and over 6,000 were injured during the 9/11 attacks. Collectively, they were the single most deadly terror attacks in recorded world history. #24. Despite the destruction and devastation, 18 people were actually rescued alive from the rubble of the World Trade Center. #23. Al-Qaeda had considered targeting nuclear power plants, but decided against it for fear that things could, quote, get out of control. #22. 343 firefighters and 71 law enforcement officers died in the rescue efforts at Ground Zero. #21. Citizens of more than 90 countries perished in the attacks. #20. 19,435 body parts were eventually recovered. #19. Christine Lee Hansen was the youngest victim of the attacks at only 2 years old. She was on board Flight 175 with her parents. It was her first plane trip. #18. Following the attacks, the Maasai tribe of Kenya gave 14 of their best cattle to the United States. #17. F-16 pilot Lieutenant Heather Lucky Penny and her commanding officer were immediately called from Andrews Air Force Base. Their mission? Take down Flight 93. The only problem was that they didn't have enough time to load the planes with ammo, so they were going to fly straight into it. However, Flight 93's passengers took the plane down before they could get there. #16. In 2006, Russia presented the US with a 9/11 memorial which was erected in Bayonne, New Jersey. It's come to be known as the Teardrop Memorial. #15. Ben Sliney, the Federal Aviation Administration Operations Manager, was on his first day of the job when the attacks happened. Not sure of what else to do, he ordered the 4,000 plus planes in American airspace to all land immediately. #14. There's a 9/11 memorial in Israel that's made of steel from the World Trade Center. #13. If it floated, it was needed. 9/11 saw the largest sea evacuation in U.S. history. Beneath the watchful gaze of Lady Liberty, more than 500,000 New Yorkers were picked up by a fleet of tugboats, yachts, and fishing vessels led by the U.S. Coast Guard. 12. Canada immediately implemented what came to be known as Operation Yellow Ribbon. All airspace over Canada was shut down, and any international flights to the U.S. were rerouted to Canadian airports. Canada sheltered and fed over 30,000 passengers across the country. 11. Only one plane was allowed to take off after flights were grounded following the attack. Lawrence Van Sertima of Miami was bitten by a taipan snake and needed anti-venom quickly. Miami Fire Rescue only had 5 vials and needed more. The problem? The closest supplies were in New York and San Diego. New York was a no-go, but the FAA gave clearance for the flight from San Diego. It was escorted by 2 fighter jets, and Lawrence's life was saved just in time. 10. The New York Times ran an article about every single victim of the attacks. 9. Over 400 search and rescue dogs were deployed, the largest such deployment in the nation's history. 8. An estimated 3,000 children lost a parent on 9/11. 7. Michael Judge, the chaplain of the New York City Fire Department, was the first confirmed fatality on 9/11, officially victim 0001. His parents' home of Keshkerigan, Ireland, erected a memorial to the fallen chaplain. 6. Following the attacks, people all over the world responded. Race car drivers at the Italian Grand Prix silenced their engines. Church bells in Austria tolled. Firefighters in Poland sounded their sirens, and public transport throughout the world was stopped out of respect for the victims. 5. Rescuers and volunteers poured in from around the world. This famous photo shows a member of the French Urban Search and Rescue Task Force working with his German Shepherd to uncover survivors at Ground Zero. 4. Blood donations around the world surged in the weeks following 9/11. 3. One World Trade Center, known as Freedom Tower, was completed on May 10, 2013. Its spire reaches a height of exactly 1,776 feet, which is a deliberate reference to the year when the U.S. Declaration of Independence was signed. 2. The National September 11th Memorial and Museum includes 2 large pools where the towers once stood. Surrounding the pools, the names of all 2,977 victims, plus 6 from the 1993 bombing, are inscribed on bronze plaques. The phrase, "and her unborn child," follows the names of 10 pregnant women who died on 9/11. 1. Every year on September 11th, the Tribute in Light illuminates the skies of New York City in memory of those who lost their lives. Enjoying our lists? Be sure to click that subscribe button in the bottom right so you don't miss out on new ones every Monday through Friday. Share them with your friends and help us consistently conciliate curiosity. And if you want even more lists, check out these 3 videos here, or just head to our website at list25.com.